Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Just another day in the car. Can't really figure out where to. There's not really like a quiet place that you have that's not in your house, because that's like kind of something I don't want to do it in my house because it's not quiet. Well, it's quiet, but I'm not like, sometimes you just want to be outside the house when you do certain things. And this feels like one of those type of things where sometimes you just want to be a little bit outside the house just for a little bit, you know. But anyways, I thought last time I wanted to talk about. I guess I don't really have much of a topic this time. Maybe a topic will just flow through me. I could talk about Etrian Odyssey. Etrian Odyssey is a really cool game. Oh, it's already happened. Etrian Odyssey is a really cool game, and I wish more people were into dungeon crawlers, because I think that if they understood how great dungeon crawlers can be, they would really enjoy them. I feel when I first got Etrian Odyssey, I got Etrian Odyssey 5. I didn't know much about it. It was a random purchase on GameStop. But I noticed that they sell the game and then they sold like a CD that sold with the game. And it was like 35 bucks. And I was kind of hyped for it for some reason, because I played the demo and I was like, yo, I'm actually really liking this. I didn't like first person anything. Like, I just generally don't like it. Now that kind of opened me up to like first person is pretty cool. It just has to be done well. Like with anything can be so out of your norm, but if it's done so well, it doesn't really even matter how much you don't really like it. Like, I've played some first person shooters here and there, but I think so far the only one I really like was old school Doom, honestly. But that's because I think what I like so much about that game. Sorry, I had these alley shots and my arm itchy. What I like about boom shooters or old school Doom is that you don't have to aim up and down. You just go left, right, and it's really fast paced. So it's like, hell yeah, it's like arcadey shooter, just and you don't got to do all of this and all of that. I think the newer Dooms that you do that, but like, man, that's what I liked about Doom. And then like the maps are so they're all randomly made, so it's like, oh, I don't know what the hell I'm getting into. I was like, I like that. That was pretty fun, man. When I first played with a couple of friends, that was dope. I was like, man, Doom is the truth, man. Now I know why everyone's like Doom. Stuff named Doom is so cool. I don't know what it is. MF Doom, Dr. Doom, Doom the game, Doom this, Doom that. Such a cool name. But going back to Etrian Odyssey, I think it's a really cool game that I wish more people would be more invested in, because I think what makes Etrian Odyssey such a cool game is the building mechanic in a way. You're building your map, you're building your team, you're building your intelligence of how to go about the dungeon. You're building ways to sustain your livelihood in the dungeon, because one type of pattern you realize when you play Etrian Odyssey and a lot of dungeon crawlers, or really good dungeon crawlers, you can only go a couple of floors and you gotta pull back. I guess one dungeon crawler I don't really like that doesn't do it that well in a way is Persona 3, where it's like you kind of engage with the dungeon crawling aspect only like a couple days in the month, and then after that you're just kind of effing around doing random stuff. But that, since the purpose of Etrian Odyssey is dungeon crawling, you're dungeon crawling every single day. There's not really any that's the main aspect of the game, the gameplay. So you'll go in and out of the dungeon, and it has this really sense of accomplishment as you go up each floor, because you realize there's only like maybe like 30, 40 floors and stuff like that. Like such a minuscule amount, but the dungeon floors, they're puzzles within themselves. The foes that you have to fight, which is what's foes stand for? I can't believe I forgot what it means. It stands for. I just think of them as big ass monsters. But foes are essentially just huge boss like monsters, or they are bosses that appear on the map, and they move when you move, or some move in different ways. Some move in patterns, some move in odd patterns. There's a pattern, even if it's not, even if it's random, it's a pattern, right? It's a random pattern in a way. And you have to kind of, in the beginning, you maneuver around them. Usually when you're going through a new floor, a lot of times you can't really kill those guys because you're under leveled, or you just don't know. So you get into so many situations where you have to figure out how to destroy the enemy, or you got to run. One thing I will say about the early Etrian Odysseys is that, and it happens quite a lot, is that when you're going through the map, you get stuck in a wall or in a corner, you cannot run away. And that's one of the biggest issues with the older Etrian Odyssey. Like, I think it happens in 1, 2. I don't know. I can't remember if it's in 3. You can't. That doesn't happen in 5, but in 1 and 2, I don't believe it happens in 5. But it's been a while since I played 5. You cannot escape. Like, you get stuck if a FOE hits you, or they meet you at the corner of a wall, and there's like, you're literally in the hole, like a rat stuck in the corner over there. You're screwed, dude. And the game doesn't like I think it's such a bad game design choice, because you will literally get a game over, and once you get that game over, you are screwed. Like, you lose everything, and the only thing you actually get to save is your map memory, which is cool in some instance, but it really sucks because you don't know, and like, that's a very big hurdle for new players to realize that, like, and it happens a lot. Like, a lot of them tend to catch, I don't know what it is, but I feel like they set the FOEs so that they can pop up on you when you're like right there. So like you're like walking. Oh man, look, a dead end. Oh, walking, and then the motherfucker FOE just pulls up out of nowhere, like, I'm here for you. And then you're like, I can't run away, and I'm gonna get smoked. And then you die and you get game over, and you're like, all right, man, that's kind of messed up, dude. But you learn from it. And then you're like, all right, let me avoid that. And because you develop your map data, you can put it on the map that you created there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I love drawing the map of the FOEs, or I love drawing the maps of the game, because it's such a cathartic thing to just be like, just drawing there, putting a little treasure chest there, putting that there, putting this there, here. I really like that. One thing I didn't notice, and I thought it was pretty normal what people did, is that they colored the map tiles. I would let the thing auto map the map tiles, but like, that was the only thing I did. But I always did like the walls and all that stuff. But I didn't know that was what people mostly did. I kind of always deferred from like what was default. So when I would be walking at Etrian Odyssey 5, it would just color the map tiles. Now when I play, I do that myself, or next time I would play, I would do that myself and color the map tiles all myself, because that's pretty fun. Because I was like, auto make the map, and I was like, it's supposed to auto populate or auto make the map, and I was like, I don't see what it's doing for me. It's not really doing anything except coloring the tiles that I'm walking on. And I felt like that's like, okay, that should kind of go without saying, I feel like, but it's actually not. You can color the tile in any colors that they have available. So you can kind of color the tiles in fun tiles, and then you can make tiles that are kind of bad tile to step on. You color that in. And so like, it teaches you cartography in a really, really cool way, that it teaches you how to like build this map. And that map is building your intelligence of how to confront the dungeon, or the labyrinth, or whatever. You're confronting the labyrinth on each floor, because some will have treasure chests that you want to mark down, some will have bridges that you want to mark down, some may just be like straight up like, don't go here, and you can mark that down on your little map. And it's amazing on the 3DS. Like, it's so hard. I feel like I got the collection on the Switch, and I have not played it at all because of time, of course. And I kind of don't know if I want to play it that way, because I feel like the experience of creating the map on the screen below is godlike. I think if there was ever a game that felt like it was made just for the 3DS, it was that game. The fact that they incorporated 2 separate screens, and the screens work perfect for what you're doing. I mean, even in matches, in fighting, you get to still work on a map. You could be fighting an FOE or anything, and you still get to work on that map. So like, you could be like, oh, I forgot to put that in there. You get into a random encounter, and you could still work on a map. So I think that there's a really strong game design choice that really blended well with the 3DS's hardware right there. I mean, I don't know where you can get something so cool like that, where you get to build the map yourself, and you get to progress the game. And then you have one of my favorite composers, Yuzo Koshiro, making the music, and it's so goddamn good. Oh my god, that music is oh my god, that music slaps so goddamn hard, bro. Jesus Christ, I love that game, man. They're my second favorite series. It goes Dragon Quest, Etrian Odyssey, and man, I can't remember. No, that's it. Yeah, I only have like that. That's like a series. Oh, and the Falcom titles. So like, I would say like East, or maybe Trails right after that. Those big titles are like my favorite go-to titles in series of games. And Etrian Odyssey, like as a whole, it's such an amazing series of games. I think you can avoid, they say avoid 1, 2, but I don't avoid them. I think that it's always great to see where a game starts from, just so you could build a really strong foundational base, and you can kind of see how they built upon one game after another. So Etrian Odyssey 1, I felt like was like, man, I kind of wanted to get through it so bad after a while, because it's really archaic in a lot of its design choices, and your characters just aren't as strong. And I didn't really roll with a medic that learned the special, there's like this move in there, I forgot what it's called, but it can kind of let you get away with a lot of things if you teach the medic that's kind of busted. I didn't learn that, and I did it, and I decided not to, because I wanted to make it pretty authentic to my experience. Then Etrian Odyssey 2, I felt like I really kind of wanted to get through that. Like in the end, like I enjoyed them, but they are just rough in a lot of ways, and I think it has more to do with the fact that the dungeon crawling is a little difficult. Like there's not very many shortcuts, and the way you jump from floor to floor is really kind of crappy. Yeah, I think you have to like kind of go through the floors 5 by 5 so you can jump to a certain point and jump to this higher point in the floor. So you have to really, in the beginning, you got to travel through the floors so much and all that stuff. So, I mean, I know some people would be like, I'm cool with that. Like, but I don't know. I feel like the implementation wasn't as great in Etrian Odyssey 1 or 5. But I think the lack of shortcuts, like being able to jump from the end of the map to the front of the map where the next set of stairs are, is like, there's such a lack of that in 1 and 2. But it gets a lot better in 3. When I was playing 3, I didn't get too far in 3, but that's honestly the problem I had with 1 and 2. That I don't know if they even made better in 1, but I think in the Origin collection, I feel like they might have like rebalanced it, because it definitely needed some balance changes and stuff like that. Because the FOEs in those games are really freaking hard, man. They're like, they hit hard as nails and stuff like that. But I love the games, man. Etrian Odyssey 5 was so amazing when I played it, and when I got to the Bone Graveyard, holy crap, the music in that dungeon, oh my God, it's so amazing, bro. Jesus Christ. I was like, yo, oh my God, dude. I listened to the soundtrack a lot of times. There's a YouTube channel that uploaded like musics to draw, or drawing music or something. I forgot what it's called, and he pretty much uploaded the Etrian Odyssey tracks. And bro, I love them. There's a lot of actual compilations of the Etrian Odyssey songs, like all mixed in together and stuff like that from different series. But this one is like super good, because it's like, music to draw your map to or something like that. And it's so awesome. Like, or maybe it's just to study to. I listen to that soundtrack quite a lot. That soundtrack, the Chrono Cross soundtrack, I listen to a lot. Sometimes I listen to Final Fantasy Tactics soundtrack. There's some just killer soundtracks, the Dragon Quest Symphonic Suite sometimes. But that one, and I would say the Chrono Cross is the ones I go to the most. Oh man, but like Yuzo Koshiro just really killed it, man. I wish he was still making music for the East games, because East 1 soundtrack, oh man, I freaking love that Dorm Tower. Or how does that go? It's like, it was like, it sounds like someone screaming in the track. Oh man, it's so good, dude. I don't know how, I can't even remember how it goes, or I can't play it, but man, it's so good. But I think Etrian Odyssey just doesn't get enough love. I feel like I wish more people would play it, but I think what turns off people a little bit is the one-person point of view and the lack of like animations and stuff like that. But it's a pretty hardcore game. I mean, I guess that's the other thing. A lot of JRPG guys love story, but there's not much. There's like no story in that game, and I think that when Etrian Odyssey can do a good story, I think that would help them, because they can tell the story in bits and parts, you know what I'm saying, through the NPC dialogue that you get. Because there's not very many NPCs, there's maybe like 6, 7, 8, maybe like 10 in total. But I feel like they could make a pretty cool story just by the dungeon. The dungeon tells the story. You don't really have to make people talk. And I like that, like, Etrian Odyssey 5 kind of does that, and they added, like, voice acting, which I like the voice acting. Some people say it wasn't that good, but I really liked it, actually. I think it was pretty cool to put voice acting in handheld devices, man. That to me is like, oh, that's like freaking lightning in a bottle to me, dude. You can only get that once, man, in a lifetime. Now we don't have handhelds like that anymore, so it kind of sucks, but I really appreciate Etrian Odyssey team. And I really hope we get an Etrian Odyssey 6, because man, that thing comes with a collector's edition. One of the things that actually, what I loved about most of the Etrian Odyssey games is that they always came with like a little, like it was like a cardboard box. I don't know if the first and second one came out like that, but the third one would come in like a box that came with a little map of the sale charts, I believe. And then the fourth one came with a little soundtrack. Fifth one came with a soundtrack. And next just came with a long cardboard box, which I wish it came with a soundtrack. It didn't. But I got all of those. I got all of the mainline series, except I don't have the original boxes of like, I think 1 and 2 or something like that. Or maybe like 2, but I have like 1, 3, 5, 4, all the original boxes of those. I just don't have the little map, and I still have like, I have like this booklet or this book that came, I think, with, maybe it came, I don't know which Etrian Odyssey game it came with, but there's like a book. Maybe it was a separate purchase, but I think it came with the third game. One of those things, but super cool, man. I guess I have Untold 1. I haven't gotten Untold 2, actually. It's just kind of weird. But I'm not really like looking to buy too much stuff nowadays. I'm pretty cool with what I got. Unless it's like a brand new thing. I'm like, oh, like I had to get the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. Holy crap, dude. It's one of my favorite games. I haven't played it, but man, I got that big ass box. I was like, whoa, this box is huge, bro. This was worth it. This was worth it, man. This was worth it. And I still haven't gotten my Trails in the Sky Collector's Edition, but that's no surprise. It's going through a company they're pretty new, so we'll see what happens, but I think they bought some of the pre-order stuff and all that stuff. So, but Etrian Odyssey is a really cool game. I hope Atlas makes another one, but they're just so stuck making like Persona stuff, dude. It's like, man, they're always into making so much Persona. They made so much more Persona. Their mainline series, Shin Megami Tensei, can't even catch up, man. It makes money though. It's safe and it makes so much money for Persona. Like, I mean, like the Persona 4 Golden Cells sold the Vita, so it's like, yeah, but I know. And then they made Reload, and then they're remaking a fourth one. I don't know. I feel like they might just remake the fifth one or something like that. It's crazy, man. But Etrian Odyssey is a really cool game. I recommend if you're into JRPGs, but the hardcore ones, it's a really good game. But it's hard because I'm always the type of person to recommend every game. Any game in this franchise, pick one. You know, it doesn't even care. It doesn't even matter, honestly. If you want to, but I feel like you'll learn a lot from playing it from the first, because then you'll go from each game and then you see the progression the developers made. And I think that's awesome. I love seeing that where it's like, oh, they had this problem before. This is how they corrected it in the next game. And then they had this problem before, and this is what they changed. And I like being able to do that, because then I can base my opinion on actual like experiences of differing experiences within the titles of the game, and I could see the development team and how they worked within each title of the game. It feels really good to be able to do that and be like, oh, okay, you motherfuckers got smarter, or it's like, oh, okay, you motherfuckers got dumber. But like, it's really cool. You can see how much more they put into the game in 3, and then you can see how they changed it quite a bit in 4, and in 5 there was like subclasses and stuff like that, and the Nexus was like nuts. Nexus was like, here's everything. So I think that's a really cool thing, and I feel like, yo, it's a great turn-based dungeon crawling game. People gotta play it. I gotta spread the gospel of Etrian Odyssey. It's a freaking awesome game. The fans of that game are hardcore too, dude. They're all just patiently waiting for Atlas to drop a 6, and I think they will. It's just, and I think it will sell a lot better. The issue with a lot of the older Etrian Odyssey games is that they didn't sell as amazing. That's why they became pretty rare during like the pandemic. Like some of them, like for instance, Nexus was selling for like $100 or something like that. It was really, really expensive, more than 100. And the third one was like, bro, I don't, how did I even get the third one? I don't even remember. Like I got it really cheap actually through time. But the third one was being sold for like almost like $200, $150. And then now it's a lot cheaper because of the Origin collection. But I got it a lot cheaper. I don't know why that game got affected by it, but I bought it in kind of like, I think in pieces or something like that. But Etrian Odyssey 3 was like, yes, I collected my little holy grail. That was like looking my like little holy grail. I was like, yes, I got it. I got the collection, man. Awesome, dude. It felt great. Because that's a game that I wasn't playing it off the cart. I was playing it on my R4 cart, but I mean, I wanted to play it already by then. I already beat 1 and 2 off the carts, I believe. Or maybe it was the R4 cart, but I already had them, and I was like, I already got my R4 cart in my handheld. I'm just going to just download Etrian Odyssey 3 and just play it that way. Not like to keep the cart intact or anything. That's silly, but like I was like, I might as well just play it off the R4 cart because it's on there. But Etrian Odyssey is a great game. The Origin Collection was sick as hell. I bought that day one. I didn't get the pencil that came with it though, man. Now that I think about it, I was like, was I not supposed to get a stylus here? I didn't get that. I was like looking around online. I was like, I never got my stylus. Maybe it's just too late to ask for it. I should ask for it, like, hey man, where's my stylus? I never got it because I ordered it from Play Asia, so I never got my stylus from these dudes, man. I was like, that's why I wanted to get it so I get the stylus too and everything, but I didn't get it. And I bought Play Asia and I used like Play Asia coins, so it was way cheaper when I bought the game. Because it was it was way too expensive, I feel like, for an old Etrian, especially Etrian Odyssey 1 and 2 they're just not that well made. They're good games, but they're just really not that well made in a way that it's like, I can see people say it's a 7 out of 10 game, 6.5 out of 10 of anything if they were to rate it. But it's a good, fun game. It's just way too archaic in certain design choices. But that's all I got. I guess that's what I wanted to talk about. But I went on a long tangent about Etrian Odyssey. It's a great game, guys. You really got to try it out for anyone that checks this out. But take care, y'all. Peace.